answers your dua. Some people are still not sure. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with my dua? Maybe because I'm not supplicating in Arabic. Maybe I'm doing something wrong that Allah is not answering my dua. We explained in details before, almost in a whole episode, that a dua has certain cases and conditions. Sometimes you ask Allah for things which are harmful for yourself. How many times that you sisters, whenever you're upset with your son, you invoke Allah to punish him? What if Allah responds? What if Allah answers your dua and He punishes your son or cripples him because of your dua? Will you be happy? No, you say, I'm saying, oh Allah, but my heart is denouncing that. وَيَدْعُ الْإِنسَانُ بِالشَّرِّ دُعَاءَهُ بِالْخَيْرِ. Sometimes the person invokes Allah sincerely from his heart. He wants something to be achieved and to obtain it, and he doesn't know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not answer because He loves him. If He gives you that will change your life, will deteriorate your iman, will decrease your faith, or will cause you to be in a problem, or to gain some arrogance. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. So He only answers whenever He knows that is best for you. Sometimes not answering at all immediately, and saving the virtues of your invocation to benefit you as a voucher towards, for instance, a calamity which was going to befall you. So Allah uses this dua to protect you from this calamity. That's one way. And there is another way which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, or better than all of that, I would pile up all your du'as, invocations and supplications to benefit you whenever you need it most. When is that? On the Day of Judgment. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, يُسْتَجَابُ لِأَحَدِكُمْ مَا لَمْ يُعَجِّلْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will answer the dua of any of you as long as he does not rush. They said, Ya Rasulullah, and how would he rush? How could one rush in making dua? He says that the person who's making dua says, I've been asking Allah and I've been invoking Him and there is no response. So he stops. In that case, you are the only loser. So, أُدْعُونِي أَسْتَجِبْ لَكُمْ قَالَ رَبُّكُمْ أُدْعُونِي أَسْتَجِبْ لَكُمْ. That's a divine promise. Would always be fulfilled if you fulfill what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted from you, such as making sure you eat from lawful earning, such as invoking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with sincerity, and you do not invoke Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with something which is prohibited or harmful even to others.
Jazakallah khair. Okay, next we have Brother Khalid from Egypt. Brother, you're live and ask Huda your question, please. Brother Khalid, are you with us? Brother Khalid?
Yes, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yes, I would be liking to ask the Sheikh this question. Is it okay to use perfumes that contain alcohol in them?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Jazakallah khair. Barakallahu feek. Wa alaikum assalam. Okay, next we have Sister Nashima from the United Arab Emirates. Sister, you're live and ask her your questions, please.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sheikh, I've got two questions that I'd like, if you have an answer for me, I'll appreciate it.
No.
I'd like to know if a child was born out of wedlock from a Muslim family, unfortunately the child was given up for adoption. The grandmother wants to know, does she have a responsibility towards this child? The grandmother didn't know about the pregnancy. And my second question is, if a father during his lifetime gives out his will, his finances, he divides it amongst his 3 daughters, and then during his lifetime he's still alive, he asks the one daughter, he wants the money back that he gave her. Does she have a responsibility to get that money back and give it and divide it amongst the 2 living sisters, because the father, he passed away?
Okay, barakallahu feek. Okay, Jazakallah khair, Sister Nashima there from the United Arab Emirates. Sheikh, I've got a question here from the sister. If somebody has a child and after the child, the post-delivery bleeding, it's supposed to go on for 40 days or so, it stops early, what does the sister do? Does she start fasting straight away, start praying?
The 40 days period is greatly misunderstood by most women, and men as well. Once a woman gives birth, there is a post-delivery bleeding. This bleeding could last for 40 days, more or less. In some cases, with some ladies, it only lasts for a day. So once the bleeding stops, and there is no other period, then a woman is required to take a bath with the intention of removing the major impurity of a nifas or the post-delivery bleeding, then resume the prayer from the moment that she experiences the tahara. Same thing with fasting. Then she will be required to fast, even though it's less than 40 days, even if it is just one day. Because that has nothing to do with this period. The scholar said, only if it exceeds the period of 40 days, a woman then would resume her life normally, even if she sees the blood. So the maximum period for the post-delivery bleeding, which would prevent the woman from praying and fasting and touching the Quran and having a relationship with her husband, a sexual relationship, is 40 days. After that, if it is her regular period and it started and she recognizes it, okay, that will count as well. But if it was not the regular period and that was the bleeding of the post-delivery, past 40 days, a woman would treat it as istihada. And we did discuss that before in details. Meaning, she would perform complete ghusl. Then, for each fard salah, she would perform wudu and pray the fard and its related nawafil, if it exceeds the period of 40 days. But before that, once the bleeding is ceased, right away, a woman is required to resume her regular life as far as performing the ibadat and doing everything else. And if she can afford to fast, then she must fast as well. But if she is weak due to breastfeeding or because she's just still recovering from the pregnancy and delivery, in this case, she would be treated as فَمَنْ كَانَ مِنْكُمْ مَرِيضًا أَوْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ فَعِدَّةٌ مِنْ أَيَّامٍ أُخَرٍ. She will estimate how many days she skipped fasting during Ramadan, and then she has to make them up whenever she feels better and she recovers.
Jazakallah, Shaykh. Okay, if we can take this question from Brother Shakil from the UAE who just called in. Somebody receiving an expensive pen, had a gold nib on it, it's got some precious stones on it. Are they allowed to use this pen, Shaykh?
He said the pen is gold-plated. If the amount of gold is insignificant to the point that you cannot separate it, you cannot peel it off, then it is okay. And writing with the pen in this condition is permissible. We're not talking about what's preferable. It's not recommended for a person to carry such a precious and expensive thing in a pen or in a bond or anything like that. But he's not wearing the pen. He's not wearing the pen. So it's recommended to not to break the hearts of those who cannot afford through showing that even the pen is made of gold, but he said that it's gold-plated. So if it is the gold amount is insignificant and it cannot be peeled off, then it is permissible.
Jazakallah khair, Shaykh. Okay, we have Brother Hamza from Egypt. Brother, you're live and ask Huda your question, please. Brother Hamza, are you there?
Hello.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Okay, your question, please, brother.
Listen, I feel that I want to fast, but I feel that I'm better from sickness that I had before.
Okay.
So am I allowed to fast or not?
Okay, how old are you, Hamza?
13 years old.
13 years. Okay, Jazakallah khair. It's Brother Hamza there from Egypt. Jazakallah khair, Brother Hamza. Okay, I've got a question regarding perfume here, Sheikh. Brother Khalid says, is a male allowed to use a perfume, a type of perfume that has alcohol in it, Sheikh?
Well, the ruling applies to both men and women, and it does apply within Ramadan or outside Ramadan, because I thought he mentioned in Ramadan. And I said there is a difference of opinions of the scholars with regards to the alcohol and its amount that is put in perfume. And that goes back to the origin of alcohol, whether it is najis and impure in itself or not. So those who say that alcohol is impure, is haram, and it is impure as well, in this condition, that wearing something that is najis affects your salah, and it ruins and it voids your salah, because one of the conditions of the validity of the salah is at-tahara, the purity of the spot which you're praying on, the purity of your own clothes and outfit, the purity of the body of the musalli himself. So those who adopt the view that alcohol is haram, is najis, definitely say it is not permissible to use perfumes which are being used in alcohol as a vehicle. The other opinion which says alcohol is